Hey, so I thought I'd make another video. The NHL 17 beta just closed a couple days ago, and I wanted to cover some of the things that I noticed about the gameplay, and hopefully things that they might be able to fix, and some things which I'm not too optimistic about, to be honest. If you missed out on the beta this year, I highly recommend it. It's a great way to get involved, give some feedback, figure out if you even want to purchase the game. It's totally free. All you have to do was sign up, and then even this year they ended up giving out a bunch of codes. So they gave you EA Sports Hockey League this year, HUT, online versus play, and the updated creation zone, including arenas and celebrations. So people have made videos about all that stuff by now. I don't really want to tread over things that have already been covered. I thought I'd just give my experiences about the gameplay through some EA Sports Hockey League footage as a forward, as a goalie, and then we'll look at the team overall in a HUT game. So one of the big requested features this year was to have the forward, defense, and goalie, and that's in, and so far it works pretty well. I like that it gives you an incentive to want to play defense, especially if you can't find a game as a forward. So in this game I jumped in on right wing, and we've got some new player classes. I know not everyone is thrilled that those are still in the game, but we do have Jumbo Playmaker, which is my favorite. The hitting sniper was pretty mediocre for me. I thought the two-way dangler was absolutely terrible. I wouldn't recommend it at all. Jumbo Playmaker, I think maybe even needs to be nerfed a bit. It's a bit too overpowered at the moment, so we'll see what they do with that. In some of the footage you can see here, I'm able to hold the line, pretty good puck handling, and as a result I'm able to transition pretty quickly into the zone. I drop it back for Red, who takes not the greatest shot, but at least we get a whistle here. So I'm going to show you one of my favorite features of the new menu, and that is the Network Performance tab. For anyone who plays on PC, this is nothing new, but it's nice to see it here, especially with the amount of people that complain. Hopefully there's nothing fudged in the numbers here, but you can see the average response ping, highest ping, lowest ping, packet loss, and I think this is going to be great to figure out what's going on with your internet connection or what's going on with EA servers. I don't know if this is just the Jumbo Playmaker, but I feel like my guys got pretty good awareness here as I spin out pretty interestingly and am able to pick up the puck and enter the zone. We'll talk more about goalies in a second, but I still find it's going to be pretty easy to score on a human goalie because of the poor hug the post transitions. Here the computer gets me into a little bit of a net battle, but I don't see a whole lot in the way of net battles and the stick ties. That is new to this game, and I get stick lifted here, and then stick lift back myself. You do have to release A now, because if you hold it, you're going to try to initiate a stick tie up, and if you tap it, then you're going to perform a stick lift. We end up getting scored on here, but I don't think that has anything to do with the whole stick lift feature. I think it's fine, and you know, if you're fast with a tap, it's not going to make a difference either way. So as the period ends, we get a nice little chance here, and I'm able to get a tip on net as the Jumbo Playmaker. I don't know if I needed to, but anyways, it goes in, and we come out of the first period tied 1-1. Here you can see a 2-on-2 play develop with me and Red. As I hit the line and I put together a couple of stride dekes, it really opens up the defense, and then Red's left alone in front of the net. Not great positioning by that computer defenseman, and I'm sure that the human that was there was a little bit disappointed that he didn't get that. Goalie hits me with a sweet pass here, and I'm able to come in and tuck it home. Once again, not great computer defensive AI, and I have to say this beta has not encouraged me that this is an issue that's really been addressed. I understand AI is really hard to get right, but it's frustrating when humans are constantly blowing by computer defensemen. That said, humans are pretty dumb too, as you see Red go offside there, so I guess you can't win them all. There's a couple of funky goals that go in this period, but luckily, you know, I end up getting that wrister and we get a couple more, and by the end of the game, we win 6-3. So this is cool. It shows you all your new performance bonuses and the badges from last year, but after that, it shows you if you've unlocked anything new as part of the new unlockables, part of EA Sports Hockey League. But by hitting X, you can do something super cool, and that brings up a really cool point line graph that shows you everything that you've done well and kind of how you've progressed throughout the game. So you see in the second, I dipped down in the most in all three categories, and here is every positive or negative thing that I did in the game that affected my coach feedback score. So generally when you get 6 goals as a team and you're in on all 6 of them, you're going to do okay statistics wise. So time to jump into goalie mode and take a look at that. One thing I wanted to cover really briefly was the new stances. Does this affect the gameplay? I don't really think so. I think it's really more of an aesthetic thing. They're still going to, interpolate back into whatever animations they're using from before. They've added some new ones this year that we'll take a look at, and I'm not too thrilled about all of them. But the whole addition of blocking saves in addition to reactionary limb saves makes a huge difference in the gameplay. So on this play, I hug the post and then get into a VH. And after a couple of crazy slides across, I'm able to make the save. And then there you see the reverse VH new to this game. That automatically happens, which is a bit disappointing. But I guess it's just a little bit of nice attention to detail. With the puck in the corner, I thought I'd show you a cool little thing there. If the puck's above the goal line and you have pad slide, you'll jam your skate up against the post, which is a huge improvement to past years. Helps keep you a bit more square to the puck. And it's a great blocking choice, especially when the puck's in tight. Possibly the best goalie gameplay improvement to NHL 17 is the ability to snap back down into the butterfly. Previously, you'd have to complete the entire animation coming up. This year, you can snap back down. It's a great way to cancel the animation, get that pad back down if there's a quick shot coming in. This is super funky. Take a look at this. Huge issues with the animations there, getting locked into them, unable to get out of them. Really, really scrambly. There's another example. Somehow I make the save. But I'd really like to see that fixed. It's hugely game breaking as a goalie when you're trying to play an already difficult hugging the post system and then that happens. But don't worry, because I saved the most frustrating for last. Take a look at this. This is game breaking. This makes me not want to play as a goalie. There's already a large amount of people that hate playing goalie or don't know how to. And when you're in the right position and you get bumped out of the way like this, the puck goes in the net and there's no interference call. Look at this smug face. This dude pushes me out of the way and then celebrates. So overall, a mixed feeling about the EA Sports Hockey League. I enjoyed playing as a player. I hated playing as a goalie. The one area that you always do have to hand it to EA is presentation, but obviously the gameplay is the most important part. And holy hell is the puck ever loose this year. This can obviously be changed with tuner updates, but in the beta, the puck was really, really loose. And this is a perfect example just in one play to show you how many times it goes off skates and sticks. For those worrying about the glitch or cheese goals, they're sometimes gone. There's a new blocking save from the goalie. You're not guaranteed it. It is a high scoring chance though, so if you keep on giving those up, eventually, someone is going to score on it. On this play, I'm able to win the draw, I think with Tyler Bozak, and then walk in and crank it home. I'm not really liking the goalie AI here. He drops into the butterfly pretty early, and then has to awkwardly get up as the shot's coming in, and I think that's why he gets beat. This play kind of speaks for itself. I understand that it happens sometimes, but that has to be a pretty rage-inducing goal. And this is what I mean about really no direction into the corners. That blocker save from Luongo there is straight up. There's no direction to it. There's no attempt to place it into the corner. And because of that, the puck moves in like a parabola and it winds up in the back of the net. And this next goal that he scores is another example of no redirection to the corner. I'm not expecting this for this game, but it's something I like to bring up as one of the huge issues for kind of floating in softies on the goalies and there being big rebounds to just put in an empty net. The animation's there and the puck does make its way to the right, but it loses almost all of its velocity. And I think that's generally been a problem with the NHL games. Pucks go pretty dead around the crease after the goalie makes the save. There's no massive rebounds, they're all small ones. You never see goalies kicking the puck out, and you never see them directing it with their sticks. Here's an example of just terrible AI. Dude goes offside and it doesn't look that bad, but let's just replay it. I've barely hit the red line and he's already offside. And then after he goes offside, to add insult to injury, he kind of meanders his way back onside. Like what? Get onside. But all those things are minor compared to what I'm about to show you. The player switching in this game, at least for me, has been the worst that it has ever been. A lot of people have complained about the player switching with right trigger before, but for me, this has been the worst year for it. I know you can switch to your last defender. If you didn't know this, hold down right trigger, but that's not always on your mind, and you figured the game would be pretty intelligent about doing that. I've had some minor problems in the past, but nothing as bad as this. And this wouldn't be so bad if the AI actually played defense. What the hell is he doing in this situation? He literally stops skating, goes into a glide, and then pivots way too late, gives up a 2-on-0, and by the time I finally switch to him, it doesn't matter because the puck is in the back of the net. This is absolute garbage, and it's frustrating. It is extremely frustrating, and I hope that they can fix this. My player comes to a full stop, wiggles his butt, and then turns around to give up a breakaway. I wish I would have a bit more faith in the computer to not turn odd man rushes into breakaways because the EA logic can't figure out where he wants to go. And then to add to that frustration, saves like this happen. And I understand, whatever, he makes the second save too. Puck on the line, I can't bury it. And as is always the case, I'm not going to call ice tilt, but some people like to. This goes in. Just a bad goal with no real traffic in front of the net. And there's one of those new save animations. Let's get one more example of this terrible, terrible defensive AI. He stops and then tries to break up the pass, kind of. I don't know, he doesn't poke check, he doesn't do anything. Then by the time I get him, I'm turned around. Luckily, I'm able to come back there. And I know I said one more, but here's one more. The exact same thing. If I can't rely on my computer AI, I am not going to bother playing Hut or Versus. So once again, a weird shot here goes in, no real screen, just a bad goal. But if there's ever a reason to not give up, despite all my rage, the game's not going my way, there's ice tilt, blah blah blah, and then I score. I had to pretty much push the goalie out of the way to kind of do it. I don't know if coming through the net like that's goalie interference, but able to put the puck home. And then, oh yeah, you can feel it. You can feel it. Or maybe not. Just kidding. Winner with 1.6 seconds left. So overall, how would I rate the beta and I guess NHL 17 as a whole? Because there's not a lot that they can do with it at this point. There's tuner updates that they could probably add. We might see some additional DLC in the way, like hopefully free DLC, because, you know. But yeah, the issues with the defensive AI, the player switching, and with goalie interference really need to be fixed. I'm happy with the menus, I'm happy with the presentation. I think overall the goalie AI is improved. The poke checks are nice, I like that the puck's a lot looser out there. But the AI seems worse, and the player switching seems worse. I hope that's something that can be addressed before the game releases, but because of my poor experience with this, I would have to rate this beta a 6 out of 10. I am super happy with EA Sports Hockey League. I think it's the best it's ever been. The creation zone is fantastic, but particularly single player mode, I am not excited about at all. Lots of frustration. Hope that gets fixed. I'll be doing an actual NHL 17 review when the game comes out, so I hope you tune back if you haven't decided if you want to make that purchase yet. But yeah, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.